Let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're exploring a really profound translated text by the author Hoda Samir. We're going to be stepping into a highly reflective space to unpack a philosophical journey, one that challenges the very foundation of how we live, conform, and exist in the modern world. So, let's look closely at her uncompromising search for the true self. Right off the bat, she hits us with this incredibly powerful declaration. I want to break out. I want to break free from the familiar, from the routine of my days. I want you to just sit with that translation for a second. This isn't just some mild wish for a weekend vacation. It's an intense, almost desperate yearning to escape the suffocating nature of societal expectations. Samir is expressing this very universal feeling, but with a raw intensity that sets the stage for everything else. She feels totally trapped by the mundane, and this opening thought is the spark for her entire philosophical rebellion.
Section 1. Escaping the routine, the birth of a new human. What starts out as a physical desire to just get away quickly turns into a profound internal transformation. Samir actually writes, I want to create a new human from between my ribs. I mean, what a visceral metaphor, right? Rebirthing herself from within. She's not waiting around for society's permission here. For her, this kind of liberation requires tearing down her current self to build something entirely new, something completely pure that originates solely from her own core.
And you might be wondering, what exactly is this new human breaking free from? Well, she wants to be unbound by place or time, but more importantly, unbound by our modern metrics of success. She looks at the constant hustle we all do and dismisses it as a quest for a comical societal status. She impartially argues that these frantic races for status don't actually exist in reality, but only in the sick brains of a society that's lost its way. She views all these constructs as entirely arbitrary.
Section 2. Rejecting illusions of success, a point of no return.
So once she identifies this whole societal game as fake, it prompts a permanent departure. She writes, not for a picnic to return again, to the end and never return. This perfectly captures the absolute nature of her resolve. This is not a weekend getaway to recharge your batteries before heading back into the corporate machine. Samir is stating that you literally cannot see the illusion of society and then comfortably go back to living inside it. She's leaving a reality she feels she was merely forced to adapt to and marching straight toward a point of no return.
Which brings us to Section 3, Embracing the True Self, Alienation versus Illusion. Now we hit her core philosophical conflict. It's like weighing the comfort of a fake world against the harsh reality of being alienated. On one side, you have alienation with the true self. On the other, faking it in an illusory world. For Samir, the choice is pretty clear. Holding on to your true self might make you an alien in your own community, for sure. But she argues that isolation is infinitely more valuable than the psychological cost of wearing a mask every single day just to fit into an environment that lacks genuine purpose. The absolute weight of that choice is laid bare right here. I prefer dying alone rather than being surrounded by fake, faded pictures. That is a heavy, completely uncompromising realization. She concludes that absolute solitude is actually way preferable to being surrounded by a society that has forgotten how to live and is slowly dying amidst illusions. She views the people around her as faded pictures, essentially ghosts of human potential who traded away their authenticity just to conform.
Section 4. The Mindless Flock, the Marionettes of Society.
Having established her desire for personal liberation, Samir then turns her analytical eye toward collective human behavior, noting impartially that people are moved by authoritarian tools like a marionette doll. It's a really chilling visualization. The societal illusions are basically mechanisms of control, and the real tragedy here is that the marionettes believe their desires for status are their own, rather than being dictated from above. They neither understand nor realize that their strings are actively being pulled.
And the tragic consequence of that manipulation is what she refers to as the driven flock. People literally lose the ability to sort truth from fiction out of pure fear. I mean, think about the mild anxiety of wearing the wrong outfit to a party, right? Now multiply that fear of standing out across an entire civilization. They are terrified of objecting, rising up, and above all, simply being different. And when a whole society is terrified of being different, they just become monotonous copies, ultimately degraded from being human at all.
Moving into Section 5, The Digital Age Awakening, the Brainwashing Machine.
Bringing her critique completely out of the abstract and into the modern digitized world, Samir writes something super fascinating. God created us distinct, but their entry into this brainwashing machine turned them into monsters.
She explicitly likens our modern systems to a literal machine that strips away individuality, leaving behind compliant entities, monsters, who only do and believe exactly what the algorithm expects of them. The machine just washes away the unique human and leaves a compliant shell.
And she delivers this chilling, deeply sarcastic welcome to our current era. Welcome to a new world where using one's mind has become an old-fashioned. It's a brilliant and biting observation. Critical thinking, genuine reflection, just sitting quietly with your own original thoughts. She argues that all of these have become completely obsolete in a world that rewards instant conformity and standardized reactions. To use your own mind today is, sadly, to be dangerously out of style.
To wrap things up, I want to leave you with this final, very haunting translation. Has the soul become nothing but scattered numbers and codes on social media sites? It takes that loss of the true self and applies it directly to our digital existence right now. Are our identities really just data points, likes, and follower counts? Samir turns the mirror directly onto us, challenging us to look at our own daily routines and ask, are we actually living authentically, or are we too just fading pictures in a digital illusion?